What's going on, guys? Thank you for coming back to Cobra TV, and this is another episode of NDTV. We've got some odd updates with No Man's Sky, nothing concerning No Man's Sky's updates, but some weird news. Styx has finally come out and started responding to people about how he claimed the center of the galaxy. So a little bit of interesting news there, plus Sean Layden talks about the future of No Man's Sky on YouTube Live Gaming with Jeff Keighley, and we've got an update on Agony, new gameplay trailer that, it's gameplay, and a Kickstarter that is almost fully funded already, and it's only been like 3 days, and they're not asking for a lot of money, but there's some information on their Kickstarter page, a little bit more information about Agony. Let's talk about all of that on the inside. Okay, before we start on all these updates here, if you want to get on the show and guest co-host and talk about gaming on a podcast and talk about your YouTube channel, blog, or WordPress, or whatever you have, and have an awesome conversation about gaming, what you're looking forward to in the future, what got you into gaming in the first place, what's your favorite game of all time, things like that. Just an awesome conversation and, a podcast. Go ahead and add me on Skype at lpoly1622, that's LPOLI1622, or add me on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll try and get that scheduled. For anybody that has contacted me, please contact me again. So Styx, as we all know, has, on everybody's system, has claimed the center of the galaxy. Now, what's weird about this whole situation is that it's not, and this is really strange, it's not just the center of the Euclid galaxy, but it's all of them, as far as we can see. As people are sending pictures in of the Hilbert and galaxy and more, with pictures of his name on the center, with the same date and time as all of it. People have been messaging Styx like crazy, and he's not been responding, but finally he did. He came out and he started to respond to people, and he's such a nice guy. He's actually trying to respond to almost every single PSN message, but he said how he did it. Now, he had a version of No Man's Sky, the vanilla version, the 1.00 version, because he doesn't have apparently he doesn't have internet access where he lives. And I was talking to you guys in a subcast about a month ago about someone that I knew that had a version 1.00 copy of No Man's Sky, and he is trying to make it towards the center of the galaxy. Now, one of the things that we've talked about here on Cobra TV is the fact that the distance to jump to the center, when you're looking at the center, it says you're 600-700 light years away from the center, but if you look at the tag that's on the center, it says you're about 6,000-7,000 light years away, and so the math doesn't add up. And I've always said that when Hello Games expanded the galaxy to 10 times the size, that they didn't fix the math in between. And when you go to jump, your hyperdrive that we have, the theta, it's not powerful enough to make the jump all the way to the center. So therefore it backs away. That's been the theory. That's been one of the reasons why the guy that I know at work, I wanted him to try and get to the center with his version of No Man's Sky before it was increased, the size increased. And the weird part about it is when you do upgrade to the theta hyperdrive, or warp reactor rather, it still doesn't show a full complete circle of you being upgraded on your hyperdrive or warp reactor. So Styx, he did. He had the 1.00, and he claims he used black holes. We're gonna go ahead and read some of the conversation here. So the conversation starts off with somebody asking him how he did it, and he replies by saying, "Well, I took black holes till I got there, and it was on the vanilla version of the game." He goes on to explain that, he was traveling and discovering planets, discovering animals, taking black holes towards the center, and he's discovering these things and he's uploading them, but it's not uploading to a server or anything like that. It's uploading, he's uploading the discovery to his own system, to his own PS4. And then he states that he had taken his system to a friend's house to update and upload discoveries before he returned the game. And he never got to the second galaxy. He said at the center was another star system. So Styx was literally the only one to get to the center, and he discovered the center, but it wasn't claimed yet until he took his PlayStation to his friend's house and used the internet to update his PS4 and his game, and then it uploaded all of his discoveries on October 6th, therefore claiming the center since he was the only one who ever got there. Now, he said it was just another star system. Mystery solved. Styx got there because he had 1.00. He was able to reach the center because he did it before the galaxy was expanded with his hyperdrive that was capable of getting there. And then it claimed his discovery when he brought his PS4 house with some internet. Well, mystery solved. We can move on from that. But it is kind of cool to be Styx, to have your name at the focal point in the game, in every galaxy, which that's kind of weird too, that every galaxy that you're in, his name's there at the center. That's kind of strange, and I'm sure that's got to be a glitch. And then we move on to what Sean Layden had to say about No Man's Sky, and this article really doesn't quote exactly what he said there at the very end. What he said at the very end of the conversation is that he's super confident that they're working on something that's going to surprise people. And this is the president of Sony. I'm sure, with the backlash that not only Hello Games got, but Sony got it too, that these people are really looking into Hello Games, especially with the ASA and all kinds of other things. I'm pretty sure that they know exactly what's going on inside that studio, because it does concern Sony as well. But the article does, it talks around the silence of Hello Games. And if you remember, I brought it up a couple videos back. Hello Games said what's important is what we do now rather than what we say. They know they're in trouble. They know that they did wrong in talking about features that did not make it into the final game. And I have confidence they're going to redeem themselves. If you look at Steam, they are busy. They are active. So they haven't ran. They haven't abandoned. You could see their activity by looking at the Steam app. But Sean Layden does say Hello Games' Sean Murray and his team had an incredible vision of what they were going to create. It was something that had never been done before. A very small team had a very huge ambition. They're still working on it. They're still updating it. They're working on getting it closer to what their vision was. And perhaps over time, it will reveal itself to be all that it can be. Sean Layden. So he's well aware of what's going on inside whatever building, wherever they're at. If they're working from home, I don't know where they're working at, and that's a creepy thing. People showing up after darkfall and they're taking pictures of the studio through the window. I don't know, that gives me chills. And one of the key words that Paul Weir said during a podcast that he had, an interview, is he coined the term when he was talking about No Man's Sky. He called it this version of No Man's Sky. And then Sean Murray on the blog on PlayStation said that in the future, No Man's Sky will be about other things, but right now it's about exploring. And then in an interview with a German, I think he was at SpaceX actually when the interview took place, he was talking about how he knows that people 3 weeks later to about a month later were going to be very bored with No Man's Sky, and that's when they'll start adding things in. Now, when he was talking about that, he was talking about building and things like that, but he may have just been using that just as an easy pick off the top of the brain. I think before they start adding building and things like that, they need to start adding in some of those other features, especially the multiplayer. It was never supposed to be multiplayer, but it was supposed to have that chance to run into another online player. But we are reaching the end of this year, and a lot of people, including myself, were hoping there would be a big content update before 2017, and I'm starting to lose faith in that, as we only got this month and one more until 2017. But as it stands right now, gamers have pretty much either returned it, traded in, or put it on their shelf, and they're waiting for an update. Still pretty upset, still pretty pissed off. I do have to admit, though, quitting playing for about 3 weeks, I returned to it, and it felt good for a little while. I got bored, but it was kind of cool going back into the game. All right, before we move on to Agony, I do want to talk about the new show that we have coming out. that's called Cobra TV Unlisted, and these are literally videos that are going to be uploaded to the channel. They're going to be unlisted, and the only place you're going to be able to find them is on the Cobra TV GNN website. I'm working on the very first episode of that today. A lot of things that are going to be on that are content and opinions that do not fit on the Cobra TV front page, such as interviews with some musicians and a very odd capture of insanity in a very odd conversation with flat earthers. That conversation escalated pretty quickly. So I'll be working on the first episodes of that directly after this video. But Agony is back in the spotlight again. It is a game that I am super interested in. It's a game where you start off with your descent into hell, and you have to fight your way to get out. And you're stuck there with no memories of your past life, and you have to wander through hell, explore through hell, possessing other demons. You can possess these other weary souls that are traveling around, and you have to make your way to the Red Goddess, who has all the answers on how to get out. They have 1,045 backers already. They're asking for around, rounding up 50,000 for the title here, and they have 34,664 US dollars already raised. And the project still has 31 days to go, so they're doing pretty good. The game is actually now listed on Steam, and there's a little bit of information, things that we've already kind of gone over on their Kickstarter campaign page, but there's some things that are worded differently and elaborated further on that I think that we're going to go ahead and maybe take a closer look at some of this information on a future video. But the new trailer is playing right now, and I'm going to go ahead and link that video in the description below. But it's really turning out to be a really great looking game. And this isn't, I don't believe it's some explorative game. I think it's going to be very linear. It's but with the option to travel and go the wrong way here and there. So it's definitely a game that's going to have a beginning, middle, and end. But go ahead and get down in the comment section. Let's talk about Styx. Let's talk about Agony and the future updates for No Man's Sky. As it stands for an update this year on No Man's Sky, I'm becoming less optimistic as the days go by. In a recent video, we also talked about a game called Project White, which is a game that's set in the Viking area where you get to play a character just like Grendel. And mankind is trying to wipe your kind out of existence and make you extinct. So definitely have a look at that. I'm super excited about Project White. As always, I love you guys. Thank you for the support you guys have been giving Cobra TV. Keep a lookout for the new show called Cobra TV Unlisted, coming super soon within the next day or two. I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.